When you're dealing with somebody who is incredibly envious of other people, who is very passive aggressive, so willing to fall silent on you, or aggressive and can just rage out at you, yet they're highly sensitive to constructive feedback and criticism, yet they're more than happy to ridicule you. They have that self-serving empathy where it's all about them. They're very exploitative people and are very arrogant, that always believe they're right, and very entitled, believing that they're entitled to have everything their own way. There's a high chance that you are in a toxic relationship, and this video is going to be some signs within yourself that you could be in a toxic relationship. Thank you very much for watching. This channel is all about narcissistic behaviour, to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with within your life. So a few signs within yourself that you could be in a toxic relationship is when you find yourself giving up who you are as a person to please who they are as a person, yet you're still in the wrong. When you have to start dropping your hobbies, yet you're still in the wrong. You drop your hobbies and then they tell you that perhaps it's time you go and do that hobby. Because when you drop something that you enjoy, it naturally causes that resentment within you, which can naturally provoke feelings of frustration and anger within you, to which a narcissistic person will then come along and say, oh, perhaps it's time you went to the gym again. Yet they're going to put obstacles in the way to make it as difficult as possible for you. And then when you do go, they're going to start throwing those false accusations at you of who you're trying to impress. So it's catch-22. You lose who you are to serve them, and they punish you, and then they try to look like they're being supportive of you. Yet when you do the things that you enjoy doing, they punish you. So when you find yourself losing who you are as a person to serve who they are as a person, yet you still can't get it right, there's a high chance you're in a toxic relationship. When you can't rely on them, when you just cannot rely on them, we can all have a busy life. However, those who care about you will try to be supportive of you, would try to be there for you, would make the effort for you because they care. With a narcissistic person, you can just ask them for some form of help and they're going to make you feel stupid. They're going to tell you to do it yourself. They're going to tell you that they're too busy. You can't rely on them for emotional support because they accuse you of being too sensitive or insecure or having trust issues or overthinking things, because they haven't got the awareness or the empathy to care or to listen. They're just listening at what they can use against you to hurt you all the more. So you can't rely on them. If you're celebrating something, you can't rely on them being happy for you, because they're more likely than not going to put you down and ruin the event for you in some way. So when you can't rely on someone, there's a good chance that you are in a toxic relationship. When you're the one that's starting to feel frustrated and resentful and angry and jealous and confused, narcissistic people are great at baiting those in negative emotions within you to use each and every one against you, to get you to question yourself and doubt yourself, which is another sign. When you begin to question who you are as a person, when you begin to change into a person that you don't like within yourself, and as you're a genuine person, you take responsibility for that. Narcissistic people are, one of the ways they seek revenge on you is to provoke feelings of jealousy within you, to try and get you to work harder to please them. And if you go and communicate how you're feeling, you can't rely on them to tell you the truth. They'll just accuse you of being jealous, which makes them feel smug that got one over on them. So when you're feeling less like the person you used to be, and more like somebody that you don't recognize, or more like the person you are with who denies all knowledge of being like this, there's a high chance that you are in a narcissistic relationship. when you find yourself constantly trying to prove your worth to them, because they're going to go all out to devalue you and make you feel worthless, make you feel like you're worth less than you actually are, so that you feel grateful that they're willing to put up with you. So when you're always trying to prove who you are as a person for a person, there's a high chance you're in a toxic relationship. When you begin walking on eggshells around them and conforming to their demands and falling to their behaviour out of fear of reactions from them. When you fear if you've missed a call from them, for fear of reactions when they come home. When you fear the key in the door, there's a high chance that you are in a narcissistic relationship. When you find yourself apologising often for things that you haven't even done. Narcissistic people don't take responsibility for their behaviour. Instead, they shift the blame straight over to you or those around you. Well, if you hadn't, well, if they didn't, because they're failing to take responsibility for their behaviour. So when you find yourself walking on eggshells and apologising to them for the things that they've done to you, there's a high chance that you are in a toxic relationship. When you find yourself cleaning up after them, apologising for them, because they will fail to clean up after themselves, they will fail to apologise for themselves because you care about them and you want to support them, not realising that they don't care about you and they're not supportive of you, there's a good chance that you are in a toxic relationship. When they can't be pleased for you, when they get a kind of pleasure out of your misery and they get pain out of your pleasure, there's a good chance that you are in a narcissistic relationship. When you can't have any boundaries anymore, when you fear saying no to them, from the experience of the previous behaviour of how they've treated you after you've said no to them, from falling silent on you, raging out at you, accusing you of not caring for them. So when you can't have boundaries, when you can't say no to them, there's a good chance you're in a toxic narcissistic relationship. And when it gets to the point where you fear saying no to them, you can then start feeling resentful because you're doing things that you wouldn't ordinarily do. So that provokes those feelings within you. When you fear having an opinion, when you can't even have a difference of opinion around them without being attacked for not caring about them or taking somebody else's side or being stupid or naive, when you can't have an opinion around them, they don't care for your opinion, they just want you to meet their needs and match theirs, there's a good chance you're in a narcissistic relationship. And this is where you need to slowly and carefully, because you need to be careful around those who lack empathy, distance yourself from them and get yourself to safety. If anyone has any thoughts on this video, please do add those into the comments, or any signs they notice looking back that were red flags they were in a narcissistic relationship, a toxic relationship, because we don't always see them while we're living it. We learn often and unfortunately through life experience. So it's not until we come out of it and recognise that their treatment of us was wrong that we start to think, I knew I felt icky, I knew that was wrong, I just didn't know why, didn't know what. So any signs you notice, please add those into the comments for people reading through. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers and your continued support with the channel. It's greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about narcissistic behaviour to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with within your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot get no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you understand and overcome narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. If you are looking for further help and support in understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video's comments. If you're looking for someone to speak to, I have partnered with BetterHelp, and their sponsored link is also in the video description. I do also have a new book out on Amazon, which is 15 Rules to Deal with Narcissistic People, if you'd like to go and check that out. Thank you very much for listening. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.